Welcome to Intuitive Real Talk, the podcast where I'm going to cut through all the BS. I'm going to light a fire under your spiritual ass, and I'm going to remind you your intuition isn't weird. It is your superpower. Hi, I'm Stephanie, a psychic medium, intuitive coach, animal communicator, paranormal expert. Yep, all the things intuitive. I'm also a professional truth dropper. So, what are we going to do here? We're going to dive into it all. Shadow work, spirit talk, intuitive gifts, and even aliens, like a spiritual dumpster dive, but with purpose. There's going to be no gatekeeping, no fluff, no performative love and light bullshit, just raw, unfiltered conversations for people who know they came here to shake shit up. Let's get into it. Hi there. Welcome to this week's episode about empath mirrors. First, I want to kind of tell you what is an empath. So an empath is someone that can feel the emotions of another person, an animal, the dead, you name it. They can literally feel what another person will feel emotionally. Now, there are several layers of empaths. So some empaths may not feel the emotions, but can feel the physical symptoms of someone, such as their pain, headaches, you name it. Because what an empath is doing is tapping into the energy of a person, an animal, the dead, you name it. And they can take that on. And unfortunately, sometimes they'll think it's their symptoms. Like, they'll be like, oh my gosh, I'll have this like sudden headache that comes out of nowhere. And someone will come in, like a client, and they'll be like, oh, I've had the worst headache all week. Okay. As soon as they say that, I'm like, oh, it was your headache I've been carrying for you. And so then I disconnect as soon as I know. When I'm reading people in sessions and I have a spirit that come through and I'm not getting what they might be saying, all of a sudden they'll make me feel like they had a heart attack, or they'll make me feel a head pressure, or they'll make me feel very nauseated. So an empath is essentially you just get to feel everything whether you want to or not. What is an empath mirror? So an empath mirror is essentially a mirror that I not only will feel because I am an empath mirror. I will not only feel what you're feeling, but I will also trigger you because I'm mirroring out your wounds as well as your gifts. So if you're not confident in something, you may not like me. If you are confident in something, you will like me. The other thing there's like several layers of being an empath mirror. The first layer is essentially you're the ultimate people pleaser. You know exactly what someone needs. You can feel it. You already are just like, I'm going to please you whether I want to or not, because I don't want to deal with your shitty energy. I don't want to deal with you being sad or angry or upset. I am the ultimate know what you need. This can be at work, can be at school, friends, family, you name it. So with that first layer of being a people pleaser, what will happen is people will either like us or not like us, and they won't know why they like us or not like us. But it's essentially because, again, whatever they're not comfortable in or whatever they are comfortable in, they will either vibe with our energy or not. Now, as an empath mirror, I may just not vibe with your energy, period. And I can call you out on your bullshit, but I will still people please because I don't want to have to deal with your crap if I have to deal with you for whatever extended period, for whatever reason. Okay. When we hit the second level, that's essentially where not only are we triggering them, they're triggering us. They are now mirroring what we need to work on for wounds, right? And so when we start to all of a sudden we notice people are getting triggered around us, but now we're getting triggered left and right, it's because it's supposed to be showing us our wounds so we can heal and not people please anymore, so that we start to own and step into our powers. Okay, here's the other thing. Empath mirrors attract narcissists like crazy. Everyone that is crappy, we are going to attract them. And it's because we give off this energy again that says, I will do the things for you. And so usually at like first and possibly the second level, you are probably having bad karma. You know what I mean? Because you are people pleasing narcissists. You're trying to fix them, trying to make them happy, trying to do all the things. And so you take on their crappy karma. And so people always be like, oh my God, that makes so much sense. I did not even realize that. Okay. So then we hit the third level. This is usually the level that you're really starting to own your power, where you'll attract a narcissist, but instead of people pleasing or getting triggered, you will literally be the true mirror of when they look at you, all of their crappy energy and things that they're sending towards you will bounce off of you because, again, you're now just the mirror. You're not taking it on and you are sending them back their energy. We are essentially made, our energy was supposed to trigger people to either heal or deal with their consequences in whatever way that works for them. And so before, I used to, because I always send back energy every day. And the reason why I do that is because, again, a lot of narcissists are attracted to my energy because they just love it. They just feel like I'm going to fix them. I'm going to make them feel good. And so every day I send back energy, whether it was sent to me consciously or unconsciously, that's low vibe, not in alignment with me. And I used to say it, I'm sending it back with love and light. And I used to hear people say, why would you send it back to the person? Let's send it back to the universe so that this way they don't have to deal with it. BS, that's just their energy. So even though it doesn't feel like it's in alignment with me, it is literally just their energy and they need their energy back for their journey. I don't need to carry it for them in any way. And so how I changed it was, instead of saying I'm sending it back with love and light, I'm just sending it back with no emotion. Because I used to be almost like, oh, I really hope that they're doing okay now, even if they were narcissistic or not in alignment with me. I would always be like, I'm just praying for you, or I'm setting intentions for you. Like, I want you to be happy. I just want you to be happy. And then I realized, oh my gosh, I'm sending energy that they don't need. And I should not be doing that. We should not be doing that. But as a mirror, we will still, even if we feel bad for them or do not like them, we'll still want to make them feel better by sending them energy. Now, why should we not do that? When we disrupt their energy by sending in energy that's not aligned with them, what will happen is they will now not learn what they were supposed to, and they'll keep in a loop. So we have to be very conscious of the intentional energy that we send to people, because their journey might not be that they need to have it light. They might need to be shaken up so they figure their shit out, or so that they continue the way they are, so others that they're supposed to impact evolve differently, if that makes sense. So be very careful with what you send out and what you get back in. As an empath mirror, again, we mirror out. Now, there is a higher level of being an empath mirror. What is that, you're asking? I will tell you. Empath mirrors are supposed to help humanity as a collective. And so we are supposed to go from people pleasing to healing, seeing, triggering, to sending back energy to the people that we are one-on-one with, to now helping the collective humanity. How do you do that? Well, what you do is, when you start to tap in, you are essentially being a collective mirror. You're tapping into your full energy. And so if I know, like, there's been animals abused and I have no connection with them in any way, like I've just heard about it, or I hear that women are being trafficked, I'm not sending them energy, because again, their journey is supposed to experience something. They asked to experience it in this life, no matter how gross or yucky it is. They are meant to do it. But what I do is, I'm sending energy out that says anyone or anything that is causing chaos or fear, that is stopping someone from being able to own their power because their energy is disrupted, they have to have their own energy returned to them so that the victims, the vulnerable, are able to find themselves in the way that they need to. So what I'm saying is, I'm sending out my mirror energy, that I'm just reflecting that if you are causing harm in any way or chaos, that energy needs to be reflected back to you so that you have to deal with the karma of your actions and have your own energy returned to you. So it's not like I'm doing it for revenge. I'm not saying here's your consequences. What I'm saying is you are dealing with what you are sending out. So essentially, empath mirrors are karma enforcers. And so what we're doing is we're tapping into the collective. It does not have to be that I even know where it's at. Sometimes I'll just do where I'm living. Sometimes I'll do states. Sometimes I'll do the US. Sometimes I'll connect in with the world. Sometimes I'll connect in with the dead, you name it. And so it just depends on where I am intuitively being called to help, because empath mirrors are the voice for the vulnerable. That's animals, the dead, Mother Earth. If it's for women, if it's for men, you name it. We are the voice for the vulnerable. And so we are meant to stand up into our powers and to do that massive healing so that this way, when we do the shadow work, we're no longer triggered in that sense. We are just saying, nope, I am the mirror energy, and what you send out, you have to deal with. Now, empath mirrors, we got to deal with the same thing, especially because we usually attract other empath mirrors. And so I could be talking to clients or friends that are empath mirrors, and they could say something that now triggers me. It doesn't mean it's triggering me in a bad way, though. So we all decide on how this trigger is. But most of the time, when you hit that fourth level, essentially you're not triggered in a negative way. You're just like, oh shit, I did not even realize I was carrying that. Okay, I got it, see it, letting it go. But if you are in the levels where you're still learning, then it'll feel a little heavier emotionally, physically, mentally, spiritually, you name it. So, gosh, I hope that made sense. If it did not, please leave a comment. I love talking about empath mirrors because I am an empath mirror, and I find that things are just coming forward all the time about mirrors because we have such a complicated life where we have to almost retreat from everyone and reboot. But we see people get triggered all the time. And you go from feeling bad of, oh my gosh, I feel so bad that I said that and I might have hurt their feelings. No, we absolutely cannot determine how someone reacts ever. And I mean ever. Because how many times have you done something really nice for someone and they're still not happy? Or someone has done something nice for you and you're like, I want to be happy, but I can't because they need to go through the things. The other thing with an empath mirror, we know the answers. We are fixers. We can just tell you from A to Z, this is your answer, but we're not supposed to because, again, we're taking part of their journey away. Because how many times have you given someone advice and then they seem like they're doing good and then all of a sudden they still do the same shit over and over? It's because they're supposed to have an experience and we're disrupting it. And we're making it part of ours. And then we're living in their energy and making decisions and reactions based on their fears and wounds and things like that. So it's really important to understand yourself if you're an empath mirror. So people either like you or don't like you. You have always wondered, like, why don't you like me? Like, I am perfect. You are a natural lie detector. You trigger people. You attract narcissists like crazy. So these are like the typical symptoms. But once you hit that fourth level, it is very empowering to be that bridge. Because again, we're not supposed to awaken anyone. We're not supposed to fix anyone. We are meant to only support and guide. And we are truly meant to trigger people because that will allow them to either see themselves or to continue their journey in the way that they're supposed to. So I hope you join me next week for my next episode. Have a lovely rest of your day.